Hello and welcome to another episode of the Mr. and Mrs. Show, where we introduce you to wonderful married couples and they tell us about their experience of marriage. My name is Kokui Selame Hansen. I'm your host and I'm going to introduce you to our couple for today. So he works with Family Renaissance International and she works with the Ghana Education Service. They've been married for 2 years. Let's say hello to Mr. and Mrs. Angel Ross. Hi guys.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Great.
Fine.
All smiles, which is good. That means we're going to have a great time with you.
Of
Yes,
course.
sure.
Welcome to the Mr. and Mrs. Show.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Are you excited about being here and sharing your experiences with us?
Very excited.
Look at that, you're twins even. You finish each other's sentences and talk together. You look alike, you
Yes,
think?
please.
All right, well, let's just jump into it then. Why don't we? 2 years of marriage. We want to find out how you met and what brought you this far. So, Mr. Angel Ross, I'll start with you. How did you meet your lovely wife?
A friend of mine, a pastor friend of mine, one time I had to do something for him or with him, and then he decided to give me a contact, somebody to contact and the person to help me out. So he gave me Hilda's number, and then we began talking from there. So we were friends for 2 years, but we never met.
Oh,
We
so
all-
for 2 years, what,
Yes.
you just corresponded by
We
phone?
were talking on phone almost every week, every day, but we never met. So it was later, one in February, that she called me. And then I was like, where are you? She said she's in a church program. I said, okay, I don't mind coming over. So it is then when I got over there and I met her for the first time, and I was like, wow.
So over this 2 year period, what was happening? I mean, I know you're married now, but let's just find out. So in the 2 year period that you were chatting with her and all of this, what was your personal life like? Were you seeing anybody, or was there something that was drawing you to her as you were falling in love with her over the phone?
Not really. So I was very busy. I'm a busy person.
Okay.
Very busy because I'm a pastor. I'm doing some work of ministry. So I was very busy. But then we keep talking on phone. So she was my close friend. So I know her, and I was getting to know her day by day.
Okay.
And I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh, this somebody's my church lady.
Even though you had never laid eyes on her, you had never
you
met
can
her.
ask questions. And you can have response, because
Okay.
even dating and friendship has to do with data collection. So you collect data, you ask relevant questions, and you can hear the minds of the person. You could see that this one is mature, this one is really good for marriage. So whilst we're communicating, I knew that this is a good.
This is a
But yeah,
All right, Hilda. Now we're in the technological age, right? So did you guys do video callings? Did you link up that way, or was it strictly just voice?
We spoke on voice, then we WhatsApped as well.
That was it.
yeah.
No video call. Wow. All right. So after 2 years, you decide to meet. What was it like when you first met him in person?
Yeah, because I was an usher, it was very easy welcoming him into the church.
Oh, all right.
Into the
All right.
program. So it was much more easier for me.
Okay.
Just as I warmly welcome visitors in church, and even people who are already in the church for past years.
Yes.
So meeting him and welcoming him, ushering him inside was something I do. So it wasn't.
Yes, but
But-
in this case, he was someone a bit more special. You know, you've been building up this lovely friendship for 2 years over the phone,
It was-
and this is your first time meeting him in person. I'm sure there was some feelings in there that
I didn't want to say it for him to be all.
oh to make him feel good.
Yes.
Okay.
Honestly, I was so happy. I hugged him because it was like talking to a ghost, and finally meeting
He
the
appears in
in
person.
real, yeah.
And I think the first day I had the best, because I think looking at how she ushers later on in life, I realized that the first day I came, they gave me some VIP treatment.
You see, there would have definitely been a difference, of course. Okay, so you finally meet in person.
That's right.
And what happens after that?
Well, it was good. The first day I met her, can you imagine? I had to go to the house to greet the parents.
The very day.
Yes, because when I met her, I knew this is the one.
That was it. So it's like you had built up everything over 2 years.
Yes, right. So
And then as soon as you met her, it's like, okay, that's the icing on the
that's right,
cake.
That's right. So I went
just
straight to the parents.
Ah,
To go and greet the
but in
parents.
that time, had you told your parents about him? Did anybody know?
No.
Went to greet them.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Okay, this is interesting. How did your parents receive him?
Well, it was my mom he met.
Yeah.
And somehow my mother, I know my mother very well. And especially coming from an African to talk more Ghanaian background, you know, bringing a man to the house
Yeah.
without prior notice.
That's serious business.
That's
You
it.
must have really felt strongly about him.
So I
Yeah.
was like, wow. So what is he going to tell my mom? How is my mom going to receive him as well? But it went well.
Oh yeah.
They chat as if they knew each other, and
Hmm.
I knew there was a connection.
Okay. So you made a good first impression. That's good. That's good. What about your dad? When did he meet him?
Well, my dad finally got to meet him when we were settled. We were certain we are going to settle down.
Oh, I see.
So yes. So when I told my father, it was a Sunday, when I told my dad that there was this friend of mine I would like to introduce, and you know, he's a grown-up. So when I said there was this friend, he's a man,
Mm-hmm.
I want to introduce you to, and he was like, oh, bring him home.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright.
So after church, he came and they had a very hearty talk. My father was like, oh, he called all my brothers and like, come and greet
Oh,
him.
yes?
Yes, even though we hadn't.
Oh,
really-
you're lucky. That's they didn't put him any. How many brothers do you have?
I have to.
Oh, I see.
But
Did they?
I also developed some personal relationship techniques.
Okay.
So anywhere I go, I know how to play around everybody and get you.
And you
So,
got them on your
yeah,
side.
Yeah, it's easier.
Smart man. All right. So then fast forward. So after 2 years on the phone, you meet the parents, you decide you're going to get married, and bam. All right. We'll talk a bit later about your wedding, how that went,
That's right.
and how marriage has been so far in these 2 years.
That's
But there's something we do on the show. We do a little quiz. Okay. But here's how it works. One of you will have to leave us, and one will stay behind. Okay. The person who stays behind will answer questions about your partner who has left us.
That's right.
When your partner returns, we'll check and see how many of those questions you got right. Okay? So between the two of you, you have to decide who's staying and who's going.
All right, I had to go so that you can
Yes,
become
that-
guess.
Adam, no, this time I want to turn the table.
Yes?
Adam was asleep and the serpent came interrogating the woman. So now I don't want trouble. Let me leave. Wow.
Oh!
I think the guys
Okay.
guys will do. The guys will do.
Are
Right
you
now.
sure?
Yeah, so-
She says she's leaving.
I'm leaving.
So she's leaving.
Thank you.
Collins, you're here with me.
I'm okay.
You're going to answer questions about Hilda.
I'm okay.
Great. Okay. So let's get settled.
All
When we
right.
come back, Collins is in the hot seat, and we're going to find out just how well he knows his wife. Welcome back to the Mr. and Mrs. Show. I'm still here with Collins Angel Ross. His lovely wife Hilda has stepped out, and we are going to play How Well Do You Know Your Spouse? Okay, Collins, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, you were born ready, right?
Been.
Okay, just a few questions
All right.
about your wife, and we'll see how many of them you get right.
I'll get it right.
So, question 1. What was her first job?
Her first job,
Yes.
teaching.
Oh, yeah? Okay. You seem very confident about that.
Very confident.
So, when you met her, she was already teaching,
Yes, please.
I suppose. All right. And is she really good with kids? She loves kids.
Too much.
Yeah? All right. We'll get down to some other questions soon. What is her favorite hairstyle?
Pony.
She likes ponytails. Do you like her when she wears ponytails, or is there a particular hairstyle you like that she wears?
I love it.
You love the ponytail? What is it about the ponytail that you love so much?
Well, maybe that's the first hairstyle I've met her with, so I think it's still my eyes.
And it suits her.
Yes, please.
Do you like to like pull it and play with it?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. Number 3. What is the first thing she does when she comes home from work?
She asks, how was my day? And how the day went.
So she checks on you first. Oh, that's nice. And what about you? When you come home from work, what do you normally do first?
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I check on her.
That's
how's
very
her day.
sweet, though. Checking in with each other. Okay. Now, do you have kids yet?
Not yet.
Not
Expecting
yet.
one this year.
Oh, yeah? You're planning on...
That's right. One this year.
Very good. But what about this? If you were to adopt a baby,
Okay.
which of these races would you prefer, or your partner? So listen carefully.
Okay.
Latino,
Mhm.
American, African, Chinese, or British?
Wow.
If you were to adopt a baby.
African.
African. Why? You know, you see a lot of Caucasian people adopting African babies and all of that. And sometimes I wonder, you know, we don't really see a lot of Africans adopting Caucasian children or Asian children. But you say African.
I love the black. I love the
Yeah,
African.
I'm with
I
you
love
on
my
that
continent,
one. I love it. Our own, right? Okay. Who has played the most important role in her life that you know of?
Hey, mom.
Yeah, she's very close to her mom.
Very close.
Well, that was the first person you met when you went.
Yes,
She
please.
took you home.
Yes, please.
So I imagine, and it looks like you have a good relationship with your mother-in-law as well.
Very good.
That's a blessing, isn't it? Okay. What is her special name for you?
Muscatella.
Hey, Collins, this one you have to explain.
She will do.
No. I want to hear from you. Muscatella. I happen to love Muscatella, by the way. But why does she call you Muscatella? Do you like Muscatella?
She will explain when she comes.
Wait, but do you know why she calls you Muscatella?
Yes, please.
So tell us.
She will explain better.
Okay.
She carry the definition.
I can't wait for her to come back.
Okay, she will.
Hilda will come back. All right. What is her temperament like?
She's a cool, quiet type.
She comes across as very bubbly as well to me. Especially, you know, being the usher, like she explained,
yeah.
like how she welcomed you so joyfully. But you say she's the cool, quiet type. Let's see if she agrees with you. Where did you go on your first date?
Our first date, if I can remember, is on the round 37.
On the run. Do you like chicken? Or what did you eat? What did you eat? Let's see if you remember that.
Well, I didn't eat. She bought some fun ice cream, and then.
And you just watched her?
Okay, yeah.
Why, were you nervous?
I didn't eat public.
Really?
Hardly, yeah.
Hardly. Why? I'm curious.
Otherwise, it's profession.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you just watched her eat
Yeah, she
her
just
food.
took and we had a good chat. And then
Oh, that's nice. Okay. So who was first interested in marriage? Was it you or Hilda?
I was the one.
You were the one pursuing her to marry you.
Mm-hmm.
Persistent man. Okay. That was Collins. You were ready by that time?
I was
You were
ready.
really, really ready.
Yes.
Did you have to convince her, or was it very easy to talk about marriage?
Talk about marriage was easy, but it was not easy to convince her.
Oh, really? When she comes back, I'm going to ask you guys about that. All right. If your partner is waiting at the doctor's office for an appointment, which magazine would she read? Here are the options, okay? Out of these options, which magazine do you think she would read if she was waiting at the doctor's
Okay.
office? Scientific magazine,
All right.
a fashion magazine,
Okay.
a housekeeping magazine,
Okay.
a sports magazine, or a religious magazine?
Religious magazine.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Even before fashion.
Yeah.
Okay. She'll be back, oh.
Sure.
See, you're done.
All right.
That wasn't too bad. Now it remains to be seen whether or not
That's right. That's right.
your
That's
answers
right.
match up, right?
All right.
So we'll bring Hilda back. We'll see whether or not Collins knows her as well as he thinks he does. Mr. and Mrs. Angel Ross are together again on the Mr. and Mrs. sofa. And we're going to find out how well Collins did with the Knowing Your Partner quiz. Hilda, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, just a few questions we asked him, but we want to find out whether or not he got them right, okay? So it's all up to you now. What was the first job you had?
Teaching.
Fantastic. Hey, we've only done one, oh. Okay. Teaching, yes.
It's an indication.
Of things to come. It's a good start. I like that. Optimism. All right. What is your favorite hairstyle?
My favorite hairstyle.
Yes.
Look at his face. Ponytail.
Amazing. Yay! He even said that's the hairstyle you had when he met you.
It's true.
Oh, this is looking good. All right.
Now have confidence. Yes, let me sit well.
Okay, let's see how we continue. We asked him, what is the first thing that you do when you come home from work? What do you think he said?
Straight to the kitchen.
Oh, yeah? What do you do? What trace the kitchen to do what?
Go to cook.
To make food for him
Yeah.
to eat. Tell her what you said.
What did you say?
You check on me. How is the day? How are you doing?
Oh. But it's a nice thing, he
Yes,
said,
yes, yes.
that you do, that you ask
You
about
don't
him.
joke with your food. So you should.
Hey, okay. So, bam, you get home, time to satisfy hubby's tummy. Okay. I asked him, if you were to adopt a baby, which of these races would you prefer? And the options were Latino, American, African.
American.
Oh, I haven't even finished. Latino, American,
How's it going?
African, Chinese, and British.
American, like I said.
Hey, Collins.
Android.
So when Colin says Android, he means the answer, the updates, the latest Android update has come in. So the update has gone from African to American.
American.
So
Okay.
he said you would pick African.
No, I like white baby.
Okay, that's hilarious. All right, who has played the most important role in your life?
Collins.
Oh, that's very sweet, but it's not what he said.
What did he say?
Your mom.
It's obvious it's my mom, but at least mention your name.
But and he did say that he's very close to your mom as well, and that's lovely. But I think it's nice that she considers you the person who has played the most important role in her life. That's great, isn't it? Oh, all right. What is your special name for him?
I have a lot, so I'm afraid.
Oh.
I have a lot for him.
Oh yes. Okay, tell us a few of them. We'll see if what he
I
said
have
is.
lollipop.
Hey.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes call him my king.
Okay.
Sweetness.
Right.
This one is tough. But I'll maneuver. Did you say lollipop?
He actually said.
Mascatera.
Muscatella. I miss.
So what?
In fact, you should have gone for me to stay.
Why Muscatella? Because he was convinced that was the first. He said you will explain why you call him Muscatella.
Yes.
He would not explain. So why do you call him
He's
Muscatella?
sweet. Muscatella is sweet. So,
Oh, so like lollipop too. It's in the same sweet
yes. So I
family.
was thinking,
Oh goodness,
Update.
update.
Muscatella, Muscatella lollipop. I think I want to give you like half a point for that one because it's in the sweet family.
Yeah.
All right. What is your temperament? I asked him.
I'm a sanguine phlegmatic.
Hey.
Aye.
Okay, so break that down into layperson's terms.
You know, sanguines are the outgoing type. We are expressive when
Okay.
it comes to emotions.
I see.
Yeah.
Collins, you said your wife was the cool, quiet type. And she just says she's
That's why I said-
expressive and outgoing.
Sanguine phlegmatic.
Uh-huh.
A combination of both.
So should I give you half?
Yes, I think half would do.
Let's go for half. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, all right, all right. So the bubbly side is on the sofa right now. Where did you go on your first date?
Our first date.
Yes. He says you went and he watched you eat something, but he didn't eat.
On the run.
Ah, there you go.
I remember.
There you go.
We've been to Paloma on the run.
Good. On the run, on the run. All right. Who was the person who was first interested in marriage out of the two of you?
He was.
Oh,
I got
yes.
it.
And he said that he had to convince you. He did. He did say that. He did. You're on a roll, you see.
Onapo.
You're Onapo. Oh my. You played a bit of hard to get. A little bit. Just a
How do
little.
you know?
Oh. Well, it worked, didn't it?
It did.
It worked. Okay.
I was prepared.
You were. Oh.
I know if I can.
Lastly, if you were waiting at the doctor's office for an appointment, which of these magazines would you read? Okay. Would it be a scientific magazine, a fashion magazine, housekeeping magazine, sports magazine, or a religious magazine?
A religious magazine.
100%.
I got
That
it.
is exactly what he said. Well done, well done, well done. Not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you can breathe now. You
No,
passed.
I'm breathing, yeah.
Aggregate
6.
6. No. You did pretty well with that. Yeah, I think he knows you quite well. Or that I would love to
If not
ask you
for
the
the
same
for the
question.
updating, I would have gone.
The Android update.
Yeah.
Don't worry. It's a woman's prerogative
Yeah,
to change
yeah.
her mind. So,
true.
like you were saying before, but I think still on the whole, you're on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's continue with our discussion about 2 years of marriage and how the ceremony went. Okay, so who planned everything?
He did.
Really? Okay, but you did say that you were the one who was ready to get married. So it looks like you really knew exactly what you wanted.
Not really, because I'm a bit of this managerial and strategic planning. So because of my accounting background, so it really helped me to really put things in shape.
Okay. How long had you been planning before you decided to ask Hilda to marry you?
Well, it was after meeting her that I started the planning together.
Oh, lovely. Right. So where did you get married? Tell me about the ceremony.
We got married on 27th of June, 2015.
Oh, so you have an anniversary coming up next month?
Next month.
Nice.
And the preparation was not easy, but you see, with understanding, it helped. It went well, because I knew that wedding is just a day, and then, which is not part of marriage. Marriage begins after wedding. So I knew this from the scratch. So I didn't have to kill myself
Okay.
on that day.
Okay.
Okay. It's just an introduction to the
To the
church
yeah.
that these people are married, and from henceforth they have the legal right to do what they want to do. So we didn't see it as like something we have to do to impress people. No. So we went on a normal note. We did our budgets according to what we have, and then we picked up. So what was very nice, powerful. We had people came overcrowded the church. Yeah.
Okay, but I want to find out from Hilda here, because the men are usually the pragmatic and practical ones.
That's right.
Who are like, budgets, stick to the book.
That's it.
So Hilda,
Hello.
let's be honest.
Oh yeah.
What were your expectations of the wedding? How had you planned in your mind what your wedding would be, and did it match up to what you and Collins settled on at the end?
Yeah, I can say yes and no,
Okay.
because it got to a time, I was excited about the wedding.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll do this, I'll do that. And he would come, looking at me. Then there was this question he kept asking, after the wedding, is the real life?
Yeah.
He seemed a bit matured when
Okay.
it comes to marriage because of his profession. He's a
Yeah.
minister as well, minister of God, yeah. And so he made me know the reality on grounds, that we can't empty our accounts purposely
For a
for
wedding,
a
for one
day's
day.
occasion.
That's true.
But then after, the aftermath
Yeah.
is very paramount.
Mm-hmm.
So now I began calming down, undertone. Then I realized the need to heed to his advice.
Okay.
Because it was a good one.
Yeah. It
It's a
is.
good start. Fatherhood, he's just started.
Oh yeah.
Advising.
No, I
But-
think you're right
But it
Yeah.
wasn't,
on
it
that.
wasn't easy, because there are times I didn't even know the colors. I knew we're going to wear white, gold, and just like turquoise blue. I was like,
He didn't even know what turquoise blue was.
we are not good, men are not too good in colors. And I was like, hey, and if you hear them talk like this, I'm lost. But I can't be lost. You have to take control.
You have
so
to
that I
take-
can,
But it's good. That's where communication comes in.
That's right,
And it
that's
looks
right,
like you
that's
did that very well.
That's right.
But I think a lot of people watching you can heed that advice that you
That's
just
right,
gave, that
that's right.
a wedding is a day.
Yeah.
People will come and eat and drink and go home.
That's right.
And then the rest of your lifetime, hopefully, is the two of you.
I'm sure none of my friends can even remember what happened at our wedding. It's just 2 years. Forgotten.
Yeah.
So you don't live to, if you impress them after 1 year, they forget about it,
Forget-
and you
it's
have your
true.
own life to play.
And they'll go to
So-
several other weddings. and
course.
you'll be in the marriage.
That's right.
Continuing. Okay. So 2 years in, how's it going? Looks good from where I'm
Yes,
sitting.
Yes.
Yes. What did you learn about each other after you got married that maybe you didn't know before? Were there any surprises, Hilda?
Well, I realized that maleness and femaleness shows up in marriage. Yes.
The gender difference.
Yes, women like to talk about things, men like to keep them. So I realized that, at times he's not talking. I expect my husband to talk.
Yes.
You understand? But then I realized that, yes, men are that type. They like to take a very critical, thinking. Women we like to express. just as the situation comes. But in the midst of the situation, I realized that men want to ascertain before coming out, but we will react.
Yeah.
So I realized that the maleness and the femaleness really shows up in marriage.
Gender characteristics.
Yes,
and
when we are dating, we are all pretending.
we're
Of
putting on
course.
our best behavior.
Yes.
It's true, because we're
Yeah.
trying to impress each other when you're dating. It's true. After marriage, you get to know each other, but again, it looks good. You guys are smiling
Very
and
good.
happy and looking very, very good, and looking very, very happy. Okay, so on the show, we have something called the Love Box. As you can see, it's over there, and what we do is we invite you to pick something from the Love Box. So one of you, since Colin stayed for the
Yeah, I think my wife is good in that.
Oh.
I'm sure she'll win a jet.
okay, I don't know if Mr. and Mrs. Short gives away jets. Maybe next season, not for this season. Maybe a little toy one.
She has a good luck for that, so
You know?
hopefully, yeah.
Fine.
Make sure I don't go and pick a pin. No, stop talking. I pick a pin.
You can open any of the doors, pick what's in there, and then we'll see what you've won. Okay?
Fine.
It's time for the Love Box here on the Mr. and Mrs. Show. We like to give our couples something to go away with to remember us. So let's see what Mr. and Mrs. Angel Ross will be leaving with today. So who's doing the picking? Who's opening the door?
She'll do the picking.
Hilda, okay, go ahead. You can pick whichever door you want to open and go ahead and open it. Yeah, go ahead. L for love.
I want to pick O.
Oh, really? It's up to you. Okay, have a seat. You can open the envelope and let's see what you're taking home. A kettle! A water jet.
Water jet.
Since you wanted a jet.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's beautiful.
So yeah, you can use that kettle at home.
Thank
And every time you pour water from it, you can think of the Mr. and Mrs. Show.
Of course.
Okay.
Thank
Great.
you.
Oh, you've been great. Thank you so much for joining us today. But before you go, we always ask our couples to leave a few words of wisdom with our viewers, those who maybe are thinking about getting married, those who are already married and maybe are looking for some inspiration from couples like you. What would you like to say to them?
All right. I have two things to say. The first one is, what are your reasons for marriage? Why do you want to be married, or why do you want to marry?
Excellent question. A very simple but poignant
Yes.
question, yeah.
And then the second one is for those of us who are already married. Just as God extends grace and mercy to us whenever we falter, we should extend that same measure of grace and mercy to our spouse. And I believe the home will be a peaceful one.
That's lovely. Colin.
I think she has preached all.
I think so too.
But
She
the
summed
only
it up.
thing I will add up is the Bible says that a man will leave his father's house and then be joined by the wife. And so the Bible didn't recommend marriage for boys and for girls. The only reason we are having marital failure at the peak is because boys are marrying, girls are marrying. So if you're going to get married, you should look at somebody who's matured. Maturity is what differentiates between a boy and a man. And then number two, Bible says that we should dwell with our wives according to knowledge. You see, knowledge is what makes the game lovely. If you are knowledgeable, you can blend lemon with pineapple and still have a good taste.
That's a good one. Thank you. Thank you to you both. So we'll give you your kettle so you can take it home.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Mr. and Mrs. Angel Ross, on behalf of everyone at the Mr. and Mrs. Show, I'd like to present you with your brand new kettle. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, there you go. Enjoy it, okay?
Thank you.
I hope you think of us every time you sip the tea that you make with it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, thanks everybody for tuning in to the Mr. and Mrs. Show tonight. And if you want to be on the show, you can also be like Mr. and Mrs. Angel Ross and possibly go home with a jet. Maybe. They didn't get the jet today, but we'll find one for you. All you have to do is visit our social media pages, okay? Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Send us a message. Let us know why you want to come on the show. And perhaps you can join me here on the couch. I also want to say a very big thank you to Curvy Woman Clothing for my outfit and to Hilda of HO Beauty Bar for hooking up the face like she always does, okay? Have a wonderful evening and thank you for watching the Mr. and Mrs. Show. We'll see you next week.